who are there in the world, if they're sending the request to the www.facebook.com, they will get the login page because that is a static page. The content will not be changed based on the user request. If I'm sending the request, I'm able to get the same page. If you are sending the request, you people will get the same page. If somebody send the request, they are also getting the same page. That is what is static page. But once if I'm giving a proper username and password, I'm able to get what? The content based on your credentials. Then at that time, we are able to get what? A dynamic content. That means the content is going to be loaded based on the credentials what you people have entered. Understand? The content of the page is loaded depend on the user. That is what we call it as a dynamic. And to implement the dynamic web application, understand, Angular is one of the solution where people are using nowadays. But is that only the Angular is providing that kind of solution? No, we have a lot of things are available. Out of that, Angular is one of the popular framework that what we are having, which can be used to implement a client-side dynamic web application. And not only that, like Angular is having many features, something like Angular supports the routing, and Angular supports like single page application development. And it is a component based architecture where you people can get the more reusability. And it supports like Ajax implementation, understand, by using the HTTP client, understand, where we are having lot of inbuilt libraries are available, which can make your application development very easier. Like that, there are a lot of advantages. We are able to get it with the help of an Angular. As like this is not the agenda to learn about the Angular completely. Just this is a overview. And to work with the Angular, there are requirements. That means software requirements are there. The first one is going to be, we do have a Node.js. Understand, Node.js is basically, it is a server which can, understand, run the Angular applications. Okay, not only the Angular application, or major client-side scripting applications can be executed with the help of the Node.js. And also, we do have an NPM, understand, Node Package Manager, understand, which can be used to create the Angular things. Understand, these are the software requirement, I can say. Software requirements, understand, to build the application. And at the same time, I'm using Angular CLI, where CLI stands for command line, okay, interface. So these things you should have in your application development. Right. So this is how, understand, this is how it is going to be. That means we need to have these things while working with the Angular. Node.js, understand, and in similar way, NPM is required, Node Package Manager. And the third one is going to be Angular CLI, where it stands for command line interface, which can be used to create the Angular features like components, services, directives, understand, whatnot, like anything you people can create with the help of Angular CLI, that what we are having. So this is all about the software requirement. And I'm having all these things readily available with me. So just let me show you what are the different versions I'm using in order to implement this particular application. So the first one is going to be, I can say that node-v, where it gives you the version of the node. Understand, I'm using like 12.17.0, where you can download the latest version. And the stable versions has to be downloaded. Don't go with like beta versions. Always it's good to have the stable version for a real-time application development. And the next one, npm-v, where you can get the Node Package Manager. It contains like the way how we are having NuGet Package Manager, NuGet Package Manager for the .NET application development. In similar way for the client-side application development, most of the time people are using Node Package Manager. And I'm having like Node Package Manager NPM version 6.14.4. And in similar way, NG version, that is the Angular version that what I'm having here is gonna be, I think 9 point something. Angular 9 I'm using to work with that. to build this single page. Yeah, 9.1.7 is the latest version that I'm using. But some people may ask a question, Srikanth, we have Angular 10 is also released by the Google company, but still 10 is there in a beta version only. Understand, you'll not get the 10 as the stable version still. Okay, 10 is still under the beta version. Most probably like they will be released in the market like very soon. Once if it is ready, then we'll upgrade it to that. But as this workshop, I'm taking Angular 9. So these are all my requirements that what I'm having. Okay, is it clear up to now? Or if you have any queries, just please let me know. Okay, fine then. So Angular 9 is having many features. Like if I'm discussing that, like then when I can take the workshop. So if you wanted to learn about that, there you can attend for a new workshop. We'll conduct and we'll let you know. Okay, about that. Right, next. Yeah, Angular application. That means most of the scripting libraries, yes, most of the scripting libraries will run through the Node.js only. Okay, but it is not mandatory. You can run it in different servers, but the default configurations are going to be available over here as well. Okay. Right. You can download the Visual Studio from visualstudiodownloads.com. Just you can Google it. It gives you the link. There you can download the community edition and it's free version. Okay. Right. I hope it seems like, yeah, sure. So if you can install something like nodejs.org, right now here you can find it out the Node.js. Okay. This is the place where. Okay, you can download like 32-bit or 64-bit like for Windows or Mac. Anything you can just go with that. Okay. Yeah. It's a server. It's a server. Okay. Right. So let's create the first application by using an Angular. Okay. And later, like I can give some time to ask the queries again. So now I wanted to create an application. So that is the reason the first Angular application, let me try to create. We have created, I guess, a folder yesterday. I think SPA workshop is the folder we have created. And here I wanted to create a application. Okay, that means I'm creating the Angular application, first of all. That is what my requirement. So how can I create an Angular application? To create an Angular application, I'm using something like ng new, understand, ng new, and the name of the application, like whatever you people wants to create, single page application, understand, demo, I'm giving the name of the application. And in similar way, here, I'm trying to include like routing mechanism as well. Understand, ng stands for Angular. Okay, ng stands for Angular. So here, ng new SPA demo, where I can say that means routing is required in order to implement the single page application. So that is the reason I'm giving routing. Okay, and after that, right now I don't want to install the node packages. So that is the reason. Sorry, I need to provide the -- routing, and in similar way, -- skip install. Okay, that means node modules are not required for me. That is the reason. Just click on OK, so that it will create a new application. and which style sheet you people wants to use, like CSS or SCSS, SAS, less stylus, like what you wanted to use, you can use that and just click on OK, so that it will create the file. That's it. Now the Angular application was created over there, but I don't want to create it as a separate project. I just wanted to include that in my Visual Studio. So that is the reason where now whatever all the files it was generated, let me copy all the files from here, understand, from here, and I'm trying to integrate them to the Visual Studio by creating a separate folder with the name client. Understand, by creating a separate folder with the name client. Just let me right click on here and click on add, where I can go with a new folder, and the name of the folder is going to be client. Any name you can give, and here I'm going to paste like all the files over here. Okay, let's have all the files over here. That's it. So this is how I'm having. Now into this folder, I just wanted to include the node modules. Okay, into here I wanted to include the node modules. Node modules are something like like whenever if you are working with the .NET framework, understand, I mean .NET, we must install the framework, right? Framework will contain like all the related libraries. Understand what is mean by framework? A framework is something like it contains all the libraries which are used to run the application. In similar way, with respect to the Angular application development, understand there are a lot of libraries are involved. All these libraries need to be installed into this folder by running a command, that is what npm install. Okay, once if I click on npm install, it will take a couple of minutes to install like everything. Understand all the necessary libraries. Why? Because Angular is a framework, I hope you know, right? So that is the reason. Yes, you can go with that template as well, not an issue. Right. So it take a couple of minutes. Yeah, like cars, basically, somebody yesterday asked, I forgot to explain. So cars means like cross origin resource sharing. So like why, I mean, this is basically an exception that what we are getting sometimes. Why? Because suppose if my client application, understand, and also the server application, understand, client application and server application, both the applications are available in different, are running under different port numbers. Suppose if my client application is running under different server and it have a port number, something like that, and server is also running under a different server and it have the port number, something like that, right? If that is a case, the application will think that suppose if any request comes from a different port, then it is thinking that like it is going to be a kind of hacking. Understand, that means someone wants to hack that application, like that it is thinking the application. So that is the reason, understand, whenever if you wanted to maintain something like that, your client application and server application both should be running a different IP address or in different server, we have to enable the cars. But right now in this application, especially like whatever I'm developing, I don't need to have the cars issue. I didn't require, I mean, I'm not able to get the cars issue because my client application and at the same time my server application, that is web API application, both are running under the same port number, right? So that is the reason it is not required to have that. Okay, it is not required to have that. But once we go with like Angular application development, or else like in web API sessions, like I'll try to explain you how can we enable the cars as well. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that is what we call it as cars. So guys, I already told you clearly the agenda for the sessions, right? What we are going to learn. as a part of the training for these 2 days. Why? Because if I'm explaining all these things, then it will take minimum 30 days. But we have only 2 days of the workshop, right? And within 2 days also, I couldn't able to cover like exactly whatever I'm expecting. I'm expecting that need to be covered everything. So that is how I planned. And I thought of like creating that application, understand? And I just wanted to show you by executing that. But now I'm doing everything like on live for your understanding purpose. Okay, that is the reason. Yeah, it takes a couple of minutes again. Just wait a while. Right, wait a while. Yeah, Abhishek, yes. Yeah, course is something like, suppose, as I already told you, like server and client, both are different. Understand, if the client is running in a separate mission, that means Angular application is running in somewhere, understand, and your web API is running in some other server. If that is the case, these two need to be communicating with each other while performing an Ajax operation, understand, or else like suppose you wanted to share something, some information from the Angular application to the web API to store the data on the DB, or from the database we are getting some data that need to be displayed on the HTML, which is available under the Angular, understand. So that is the reason, like at that time we have an issue. That issue, what we call it as CORS issue, cross origin resource sharing. If you are having like two IPs with a different, understand, port numbers, or else like two applications are runs in a different port number, then at that time we get an issue, and we can overcome that from the client side and also from the API side, both. Okay, anywhere you can, yes, anywhere. We can provide that in Angular application also in the header part, or else like in API also we can enable it. Both both sides we can enable it. Okay. So like Bhavani, for getting a job in Angular, Angular is enough, or we need to learn any? Nowadays companies are looking for a full stack developer, not a UI developer like the Angular people, not a server side developer like .NET. Companies are looking for complete full stack development. As the part of that, learning any of the server side technology and integrating with one client side technology, at least either Angular or React, according to the current industry standard. These two are very good. You should know about that. Okay, if you have at least 3 years of experience, means you should know at least one server side technology and one client side technology, one database knowledge. Understand, that's very important. Express.js is also, is not required. Just you can learn. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Right, fine. Now my application is ready. It was installed like all the node modules over here. Okay, it was installed all the node modules. Fine. Now you can just see here. Let me have like this. Just let's go here. And you can see if you are not able to find that the node modules here, what you can do is, okay, just go here. And you can see there you can have all the node modules. You can see the size of the node modules is also going to be, if you can simply right click on here and go to the properties, you can find it out like what is the size. Not like that. You can just go to their node modules and open that in the file explorer. Okay, open that in the file explorer, and there you can select the node module and go to the properties, see how much it is. It's around like 1 to the, not even 100. It's around like 339 MB, the size of the node modules. Okay, so that is how we have. Okay, let it. Right, now I have installed like all my node modules in my application. Fine. So the next thing is going to be, we need to render the data in this application itself, right? So that is the reason where now what I'm trying to do, API is not having by default, understand, API is not having by default what? what I can say, like view pages. So that is the reason here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to add an MVC controller to have the view page. Simply let me right click and go to the add, and I wanted to add a new controller, and this time I'm selecting an MVC5 controller just to render the data on the view page. That's it. I'm having a view controller, and the name of the controller is going to be home controller. That's what I'm having here. Now you can see when I'm adding the home controller, it gives you the suggestions. Why? Because right now we are in Web API project, right? Web API project. So that is the reason we have to configure something. So everything you people will get it from here as well. You can see there. Just let me go there. It will take a couple of minutes to install something from the Nugget. Yeah, migration is a concept of entity framework, which can be used to keep track of the changes that are happening to your application with respect to the models on the database side and in the application level. Okay. Yeah, that's very important. We are working on web application environment, right? That is where like it's must to have that. Right. Now you can see right now Visual Studio has a full set of dependencies on ASP.NET MVC5 to the project this, and in global.asx file in the project may require the additional changes to enable the MVC. Why? Because right now we are using what? We are using like ASP.NET Web API project, and there I am trying to integrate MVC because like API is not having any kind of view pages. So because of that reason. Now what I need to do, like if the code was already defined in an application start method, add the following understand method. Already like global.asx is having that. Out of that, like I don't want to go with like a filter config, bundle config, all these things. I need only one thing here, understand routing mechanism. So let's see, like there are a lot of files are added over there. Understand the people like who already learned about ASP.NET MVC, you might already aware of all these files. Now what I can do, just let me go to the global.asx, and there I'm going to include something like this. Understand, I'm going to include something like that. That is the one thing that what I have done. Understand, now what I'm doing, I'm integrating ASP.NET MVC5 to the Web API project right now. Why? Because Web API is not having any kind of view pages. So that is the reason to create a view page, single view page at least we require, right? That is the reason I'm integrating MVC5 project. And now once if it is done, okay, once if it is done, the next thing is going to be, let me add a view page, right click on the here and add a view page. And I don't want to go with, remember, this is a index view page. I don't want to select the layout. Just let me click on add view so that automatically that would be added. So this is how we'll integrate the things. Understand? Now you can see here I'm using a simple message H1, welcome to Naresh IT workshop. Okay, workshop that what I'm giving, and save this application. Now if you can execute that, where it will get executed. Okay, it will get executed in a proper way. We can see that. Configuration only will take like more time, but once if you're configured for first time, understand, second time onwards no need to do by your own. Understand, everything will be done automatically. The first configurations are very important. Most of the people, they are getting problems while while integration part only. Understand, integrating Angular with the Visual Studio and MVC application and API applications or React. Understand, anywhere you can go, like integrations are very important. Individual learning is not gives you the best result in the real time. Okay, like individual always try to integrate with one technology to another technology, one tool to another. Like that, if you can learn, you will get the best. Right. Let's execute my application, where you can see it is sending the request to my home controller and index. Fine. My application is working fine, and where I'm able to get the output, something like that. So now what we are doing, we are integrating MVC to API now. Now, whatever the code was generated from the Angular, I wanted to get that code, understand, and that code need to be rendered on where? Index page. That is what my requirement. That is what I need to do. So how can I do that one? I'll show you. Now you can see I'm getting a message something like, welcome to Naresh IT workshop. Fine. That's working fine. Now this time I need to get the content from what? Angular application, and keep that in the index view page, so that automatically we'll get index as the home page. So how can I do that one? Go to the solution explorer, and if you can see the client folder, there we have a file is available, something like a angular.json file is available. Now if you can observe the angular.json file here, understand, there we are having different configurations are available. This is basically a JSON file which contains like all the configurations. Out of that, there you can find it out, output directory. Understand, that means once if the application is done, where it is going to be generate the output. Okay, there you can find it out. Yeah, now you can see the output path is going to be, it comes under the destination folder. That means once if my application is ready, what we can do, we can go for the build, right? So what happened in the build process? You know, like in .NET also we have the build, right? What a build process, build will generate all the DLLs and DXE based upon the type of the application we have created, right? In .NET. Something like in Angular also, we have the build process. What an Angular build will do is the Angular build will generate all the, understand, JavaScript files. That means it will completely convert all the Angular application code into the equivalent JavaScript code. So that is the reason what I need to do. I just wanted to generate that build process and store that in my scripts folder. Okay, in the scripts folder, I wanted to store everything. That is what my requirement. So how can I do that one? So to do that one, something like that, first of all, what I can do in the output path, let me go here. I'm going to remove it. Okay, I'm going to remove it. I can say that under the scripts folder, understand, under the scripts folder, I'm trying to create a folder with the name client. Understand, or else like you can go with build as well. That's it. Let's save this application. Now you can do one thing, that is ng build. Okay, that ng build you can do. And here you can go with the watch to watch the differences, like what are the changes are happen for your application. You can find it over there. That's it. Once if you can do that one, just take a couple of minutes. Would you like to share the anonymous users data about this project with the Angular team? As global, no, I don't want to share anything over there. Just click on no. Then it will take a couple of minutes to do that. Just wait a while. Build process initiated, and it generate the builds for you. Okay, it will give like all the files. It is getting compiled application. So far, like I haven't done anything. Just this is the basic application I have created. That's it, right? No, serving is different, debugging is different, and build is different. You know, right? In .NET, Ravalika. Like that. Here also, build is different and serving is different. Okay, build will generate like all the necessary files. Understand, it converts all the code and generate the necessary files. That's it. Now you can see it is compiling the entire solution once. One time only it will compile, and second time onwards, like based on the changes that are happened to your application, that will go for the like build, that will include that in the build process and compilation. If you are not selected any file and if you are not modified anything, then it won't be generate the build process. Yeah, yes, right. Now you can see under my scripts folder, if you can observe that, where it is under my scripts folder. Right now we don't have anything. Just let's go with that. Now you can see we have a scripts folder somewhere. You can just come back here. Yeah, you can see there is a folder was available with the name client. Let me right click, and I just wanted to include that in the project. Okay, by default Visual Studio will be hidden those things. Just you can include that. That's it. You can include them. Once if it is included over here, yes, publish it in Angular. Yes. Once if it is included, now what you people can do is it generates like different files. And from here, what you can do is you can just go to the index.html file. Okay, index.html file, and copy the complete code that we are having, and come to the index.cshtml and paste it over there. That's it. Okay, paste it over there. Okay, understand what I'm doing? Guys, understand these configurations. What I'm doing, I'm generating the build. I'm issuing the build by specifying the path. If you wanted to specify a separate path, you can go with that angular.json and you can do that one. Understand? And then what happened, like into this particular path, the complete published files are going to be loaded, and out of that you can get the data. That means index.html is available. Just copy them and paste it in the index.cshtml. That means into our MVC project, I keep everything. And one more thing here, if you can see, like script src, directly we are getting it there, right? Now what you can do, you need to specify the path in a proper way, or else like we are not getting an, we are getting an error. So how can I? Simply you can drag and drop one thing, and whatever the path we are getting here, you can just copy that and you can give it over there. The people like who are facing an issue, for them it is just you can give the path. Just you can give the path. Understand? You can give the path here, there, and here also you can give the path. Okay, that is the one thing you should remember. And the next one, the type is going to be text or JavaScript. All these are the JavaScript files only, so that you should get them. Let's copy this and paste it here as well. All the places. That's it. Right. Now save this application. Understand? Build the .NET application first. Okay, build the .NET application. Yeah, Revati. The reason behind that, I'm not running like Angular application separately and MVC application separately. I'm combining everything, so that like I'm going to run like a single page, that is index.cshtml. So once if I'm executing that, it will run the Angular application and also API application as well. From the MVC, I'm controlling MVC, Web API and Angular, both the applications. That is what the integration. Right, now you can execute the application and you can see, okay, it works perfectly, or else like we'll go for the, if you're having anything, just we'll look into that. So this is how the integration part. You see like how much time it took for an integration. Just wait a while. It runs the application. Now you can see, are we getting the Angular page or not? Yes or no? Right? Right. So like I'll show you that by doing some modifications on your application. Something like, so suppose here, let's go to the source folder. That means client application. You can see under that app, I'm having app.component.html. Here what I want to do is let me do something, some modifications I want to do that. What modification I need to do, like all these are the styles. Okay. Now you can see here, or else like let's come down. Okay. So now in the footer part, or else like not in footer, some content I can show you, like once if I modify that in the Angular, that would automatically reflect on your application as well. Now you can see somewhere new component, right? So what do you want to do next with your app, that what we are having here? Somewhere you can see that this is what we are having, right? I want to delete that in the Angular, and that would be reflected over here. You can see I'm removing these two, H2 and this one, and save this application. And remember, the build should be in running mode. You can see the build process was running, and you can just come back here in the application and you can execute. And here I can say something like home slash, okay, index. Am I stopping the execution? No, right? Okay, fine. Home slash index I can give. Now you can see that text was deleted, right? Yes or no? Tell me. That is so. Understand? That means we are doing like the complete control from the Visual Studio only. No need to use like Angular CLI, no need to use a separate IDE to run the Angular code. Understand? All these things are not required. Everything, the complete control is available with you. Understand? Through the Visual Studio. So from here, you people do whatever you want. Okay. So this is what I have done exactly. Hope it's clear, right? Integration part. Clear or not? Tell me. Right. Very good. Very good. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Let's do one thing. I'm going to remove everything which is available under the app component, where I can say a simple message to the user. Welcome to Angular app development. I can give. Let's save this application, and you can just come back and refresh it once, where you can go with something like /home and index. You can get that. Welcome to Angular development. That's it. Now we are having something like that. Okay. I hope it's clear for everyone. Right. Can I move forward? Tell me. Yeah, we can do that one as well. Don't worry. No need to give like /home /index also always. If you want to do that, what you can do is because like we are generating MVC application and we are integrating with the API, right? So that is the reason. If you can go to the file, that is routeconfig.cs, here we are having only action is equal to index. Suppose if you can specify controller is equal to, okay, controller is equal to home, if I'm giving, then automatically we'll get that. Now you can see this time when I'm executing the application, by default, it starts from the home controller and index. In routeconfig.cs file. Yeah, no need to provide in routing, Angular routing. No need to provide anything. Now you can see if I'm executing that, you are able to get it by default, like home and index. Clear? Right. Right, fine. Now, this is what about the integration part. Integration is done successfully. Okay, we have integrated Angular, MVC, Web API, everything under the same solution. That's fine. That's working fine also. Now, what I want to do, I just wanted to show you like how can we consume, understand, Web API service in Angular applications. Okay, in Angular application. First, we'll look into that. So to consume something like that, both are running under the same port number. Okay, both Angular application, and so that is where like we don't have any kind of CORS error. Now what I want to do is first, you can see, let me close everything. I wanted to close like all the documents. Let me start from the beginning again. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So go to the Solution Explorer. You can see here the project, like whatever we are having. If we can go to there and go to the properties, under the properties section, you can find it out, web, and this is the port number where we are running our application, right? This is the port number. So what you people can do is like basically for development environment, mostly we are using a different port, and for production environment, we have the different port numbers. Once if you are working in the real-time approach, okay, real-time is different and here it is different. So there what happen is the applications are going to be hosted into some servers, like it might be an Azure, it might be an IaaS or somewhere. You will get the port number. I mean, you will get the URL to access your application. So now my application is running under this port number. Now what I want to do is just let me define that port number, understand commonly in the application. So how can I? There you can see there is a files are available, environment files are available. Environment.production, environment.ts. So this is the dev environment, first one, and second one, production environment. So whatever the things you don't want to change it, let's define there itself. Understand? I can say that something like this is basically, understand, API address. Understand? My application address, basically this is, understand? So that is the reason I can say that something like a API URL colon, I can give that URL over there, and where I can go with the API. That's it. Okay, API URL. This is what I'm having. And followed by the same URL, I'm using it in the production environment as well. That means once if you can define that, the advantage is going to be today I'm running this particular application into this URL. Okay. Tomorrow, suppose, yeah, that is what, like, that is what I'm telling. Yeah, mostly like QA and dev both are having the same kind of URLs. Okay, you can keep it over there. So today I'm running, the client is asking me to run in it wherever I'm calling that API. Understand? Right? That is the reason implementing them in a like a global location. Create that particular URL in a global location, something like that API URL, and where I can implement it over here. That is what I'm doing. That is the reason I'm having something like that. That is the first step you need to do that. Okay, that is the first step you need to do. And the second one is going to be here. Okay, second one is going to be, I need to consume that. So in order to perform like the Ajax implementation, basically when it comes to the Angular application development, especially, we do have a concept of what services are available. So that is the reason. First, let me add a new folder, and the name of the folder is going to be services. That what I can say. Understand? Services is the folder that what I'm having. And in similar way here, I wanted to create a service which can be used to communicating with the application. There you can see I'm adding a TypeScript file, and the name of the file is going to be user.understand service.ts I can give. Okay, it's a TypeScript file that what I am creating. Understand? TypeScript file that what I am creating. Okay, I just wanted to have something like that. And also basically we are getting the data. I mean services, you know, like right, I can do that one. TypeScript means like it's not the JavaScript basically. I can say that a TypeScript is basically a file which generate the JavaScript once if it is getting compiled. Understand? That is different story. So now this is what a service I'm having, and followed by we are working on the table that is the like user table. So that is the reason where now what I'm trying to do under the app only, let me add another folder with the name models for my application development. So that whatever the model we have created on the application, You can see here we have the modal, right? User modal is available or not. Now with the same name, you people have to create the modal here also. So, but in the TypeScript, you have to create it, remember. In TypeScript, you have to create, just let me right click and add. I wanted to add another TypeScript file. Similar to that, the name of one is going to be, I'm writing something like user. Now here, there are the two things that what I want to do. First one, create the service. And the second one is going to be, understand what I need to do. I just wanted to go with the, service. These are the two things that what I want to do. First of all, let's start with the service. What an Angular service? Angular service is basically a TypeScript class which can be used to communicating with the server asynchronously and getting the data and keep it with you. And once if my service is ready, I can consume that in any kind of component. So that is the reason where. Now what I can do, simply let me write the code, something like import, where I can say that injectable. Okay, I'm writing some Angular code here from where it is available at the rate Angular / core, I can say. Okay, that is what I'm doing. And once if it is done, now I can say at the rate injectable, that what I'm using. Understand, injectable, that what I'm using, and followed by, it is a TypeScript class, so that I can go with export class, and the name of the class is going to be user service, that what I'm using. Okay, user service, that what I'm using. And I'll go with the constructor injection. Okay, let's have a constructor. Understand, and to communicating with the server from the Angular application, we are using what, basically HTTP client, and which is available under the RxJS library. So that is the reason, Angular core library, it is available. Just let me add that one. So how can I, let's have private, this is a dependency injection concept, HTTP client, I can say, and it is available under the HTTP client module. Understand, and this is available where? This is available under import. I can say that HTTP client I can give, and where it is available? It is available under at the rate Angular / understand, common / HTTP, that what we are having. You can give it over there. That's it. And followed by, we do have some kind of headers are required, like for the application while performing, I can say that post actions. Okay, so there are like different things are required. So for that reason, I'm using HTTP headers as well. Okay, here I'm going to include what, HTTP headers also required for me, so that either I can go with HTTP headers. Why? Because Web API is basically a stateless protocol. Understand, works with like stateless. So that is the reason where, now what I can say, just let me go with the headers, like in order to pass the data. Now what I need to do, just let me create a variable over there. Simply I can say that headers, and which is going to be of type HTTP header. Understand, and I'm going to include some headers are something like what kind of content type. Understand, if you're passing any data there, you can go with it like that. This dot headers is equal to, I can go with new HTTP headers, I can say, and there you people can pass like the headers, something like what type of content we are supplying. All this information you people can pass it over there. I can say that something like content - type. Understand, I'm sharing the content of the type what, application or JSON, something like that. Okay, I'm giving the content something like that. This is what I have given. And once if it is done, now I wanted to get the data. So for that one, I'm going to write a method, something like get users is the method, that what I'm trying to write. Get users is the method. Now basically here, if you can observe that HTTP client, which can be used to communicating with the server asynchronously and getting the data and performing the operation. So that is the reason here what I need to do, just let's go with observable. It returns the data in the form of what, observable. So that is the reason I can go with observable, and it is available under the RxJS library. Understand, there you can go with the observable RxJS library. There you can see somewhere you have observable is available. You can just give it over there. And what type of data we are getting, you people can just give it over there. or else you can directly give RxJS also, not an issue. And here, if you wanted to specify the related type, you can, or else you can go with directly any. Understand? That's your wish. And here, suppose if you wanted to get a specified type, what you can do? I can say that something like export class, and the class name is going to be user. And there you can specify the type of the data that we are getting. Something like, I can say that user ID. Okay, the type is number. And in similar way, name, the type is going to be something like string. And in similar way, address, that what we are having, the type is going to be string. This is completely the TypeScript code. And in similar way, contact, that what we are having, the type is going to be string. Now you can see, do we have the same thing or not? Just let's come back here and verify that the model like how it would be. Do we have any difference? Okay, it's contact number, so that we'll give the contact number as well here also. That's it. Save this. Okay, that means like what type of data we are getting. Understand what type of data. RxJS is a library and which can be used to come in reactive extension for JavaScript, which can be used to communicating with what? The server asynchronously. Understand? Server asynchronously. And where it is available under RxJS observable also you can give. Not an issue. Understand? RxJS observable. I think like capital O. Do we have? Right. RxJS observable. Yeah, I think RxJS. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Right. Now, once if it is done, now what I can do, I wanted to make a request. So how can I simply return this dot HTTP client dot what request? Get request we are performing. And now here you can see I need to provide the URL. Understand? I need to provide the URL. So where the URL is available? My URL is available under the environment. So that is where I can go with environment dot. Understand? Environment file only I'm having, right? So that is where I'm going to include that. Understand? Environment dot. I'm having an API URL plus I can give slash. Understand? What is my controller name? User I can give. That's it. Understand? Slash user I can give. That's it. It's done. I'm going to communicating with that and getting the data. So observable will make a continuous request to the server and getting the data like whatever we are having. Understand? That is what an observable. Now, whatever we are observing here, we need to get that and access in the component. Understand? So when it comes to Angular, there are a lot of things you need to understand. I'm giving you just an overview of an Angular, but internally it comes like Angular is packed up with like many things. It's completely a loosely typed environment. Understand? Loosely typed environment. So that is the reason you should understand that. Understand? There are a lot of things you need to understand over here. Understand? So that's it. Now, one more thing I just want to tell you here, like while working with this, okay, you need to include like different modules as well. Let me go there and I go with like app.module.ts. That what we are having. A module is something like which can be having at application level. We can have like something like ng module is required, which is available under Angular / core. Understand? And in similar way, we have HTTP client module is also required. Import, I can say that HTTP client module. Understand? Where it is available? @ Angular / okay, common / HTTP. That is the one thing you should have. Okay, that is the one thing you should have. And followed by, once if you are having that module, what you can do, you can give, okay, HTTP client module. That you have to include. Understand? In the import section. And at the same time, the service like whatever we have created, you people have to register under the providers. But in Angular 7 onwards, like no need to register over here. Understand? You can use that in the provided in option as well. Like globally, you people can access it also. That is a different story. Okay, you will learn in the Angular sessions. Okay, you will learn in the Angular session. From Angular 7, we are having that. Okay, but before that, like we do have like singleton object. That means one object is created for entire application. That means you people can access it with the help of a single object. That is how it is going to be. Okay, fine. This is what I have done. Understand? Now what I am trying to do, I just wanted to get the data and let me show you. Understand? Let me show you how can we do that one. So to do that, let's go to the solution explorer, and there we are having app.component.ts, that what I'm having here. So this is what I have. Understand? The business logic code, you people can write it over there. And the next one here, you can see app.component.html, and this is the place where you people can get the display the data. HTML file is used for display purpose, and component.ts file is used for getting the data and performing the operation, something like that. Okay, that you people can do that by your own. And along with that, you have another file is available, spec.ts. Understand? This is basically a component. Understand? This is basically used to perform what I can say, unit testing, like by using Karma, Jasmine, Protractor, like that. Unit testing can be done in the Angular. That is where we have spec.ts, such kind of files are available. Okay. So this is what we are having. Now what I'm trying to do, the first thing is going to be, I wanted to implement an SPA. SPA means the pages should not be refreshed. For every request, I don't want to refresh my page. So what I can do, for that one, we are having another one. That is what app.app-routing.module.ts. Routing in the sense, specifying the URL. Without refreshing the page, you people can specify the URL. That is what the routing mechanism. So that what I can say here, I need to provide the URLs for my application. What URLs you wanted to have, you can provide all the URLs over here. Understand? That you people can do. Now what I'm trying to do is, before that, first of all, I need to have like a separate components for create and reading the data. Okay, so that let me stop the build process. Okay, let's stop the build process, and I'm going to generate the components here. So how can I generate it? ng, understand, G for generate, C for component. So the component name is going to be users is the first component. I'm using internal styles. Just click on OK. So that automatically it will be add a component. Understand? Oh, sorry. -is. I'm sorry. -is is enough. It will create one component, users, and the second component is going to be, I can say that, create. Two components I have created for my application, just to show you the SPA. Now, once if it is ready, now what I can do, just let me include them. Okay, now you can see, if we can go to the application and show the files, you can see create is there. Let me include that in the project. Users is also available. Let me include that in the project. That's it. Okay, that means in the users component, I wanted to get that and let me display it over there. That is what my requirement. So that is the reason where now what I need to do, I'm generating the events for me. Okay, application. I'm generating the events for my application. So this is how it is going to be. Now I'm having, that's it. Okay, fine. Now here under the users component, let me display the data. Okay, and create component, I wanted to create a view page. That is what I'm trying to do. So to do something like that, first of all, let me create a links for my application. So how can I create the links for my application? So that is the reason where let's save this application. That means here we have like routes is available. Understand, routes is available. Now here I need to provide the two routes. The first one is going to be, suppose if my path is going to be an empty, understand, empty, there what I can say, I'm going to load a component that is going to be users component. Okay, that is the first one. Suppose if the path is going to be, understand, create, okay, slash create, there I'm going to load the component that is going to be create component. Okay, I'm going to load what? create component. That's it. So this is what I have done. What is the first one? Tell me. If the path is okay, I mean, path is empty one, there I can go with what? Users component. If the path is going to be /create, then I can go with what? A create component, that what I'm having. When I'm using that, you people need to get what? The files as well. Okay. Once if it is done, now I need to go with that. Understand? Remember, like all these settings you people will get by default if you are using the application. Now the next one is going to be under the user component first app component HTML is there, right? This is the starting point. So there I need to provide the links for both. Understand, anchor tag can be used. So this is for what? Users I can say, and at the same time I can create another link, anchor tag. So this is for what? I can say that create. Okay, two links I'm creating, and here what I can say, simply I'm using a binding mechanism. So something like a router link, I can say that. Okay, router link is equal to, let's go with the router link, something like this. I can give my router link is going to be something like /. When I'm giving that, I'm able to get this. And at the same time, I can go with what? Second one is going to be, you can see there, same router link. I can say, let's copy that and create. This is basically create. Save this application. That's it. Okay, let me save this application. That's it. And after that, we use something like router outlet to generate the content. Understand, router outlet should be given. Understand, to generate the content dynamically. That's it. Now my SPA is ready. At this point of time, my single page application is ready. Now you can observe that like how it would be. Let's save this application. Understand, now I'm trying to build the solution once again. How can I? Ng build -watch -watch. That means first you have to build the solution once again. Build the solution, and then only you people can run that. You can see that. If it is a classroom training, it will take a week if you want me to include everything. But as a workshop, to give you the basic understanding, at least few people, they might don't know anything about like how can we go with the integration. To show you the importance of the integrations only, I'm conducting this workshop. This is very important for you in real-time approaches. Okay. Right. Everything is working fine. So the next one is going to be what I need to do. Just let's come back here. Okay, let's come back here. Still, like the application needs to run and execute the application one more time. Now index is getting executed automatically. Now you can see here. Okay, sorry. Just let's come back here. Okay, there is an error. Just wait a while. We'll look into that. Just give me a moment. I'll check that. Let's go to my application. So the first one is going to be, I'm giving router link slash I'm giving, okay, and where I'm giving users. Second one, an anchor tag, router link is equal to slash create. This is basically a create user. Okay, fine. This is works fine. Second one is going to be under the routing module. We have to specify the path. Same path should be comes here as well. Okay, here whatever we are having, same path should be comes here also. Slash create. Okay. Okay, the error is going to be here. You should not give the slash. That is what the error. Just let's come back here. Now you can execute. Right. Now you can see my application is working fine. Yes. Now if I click on users, now you can see I'm executing user works. Create user, create works. You can see that. Is my page is refreshed? Tell me. If you can observe that, is my page is refreshed? No. This is what a single page application. You may ask a question, Srikanth, like you're not communicating with the server. So that is the reason like it is not going to be refreshed. Suppose like let me communicating with the server and then I can verify that whether it is going to be refreshed or not. If you want to do say something like that, then what I can say, just let me come here. And here what I need to do is let's go to the users component. And here I'm going to display the data where I can say user table I can give. And I just wanted to get the data. But before that, I wanted to get the data, understand into that and let me display it over there. So let me go to the user component. You can see that user.component.ts is available. Whenever the form load, then I wanted to get it. And before that, let's have an object of that private, okay, user service I am having. Understand user service and which is available under the user service so that I can give it over there. Understand that is the first one. And the second one is going to be what I need to do is I need to have like basically we are getting the data in the type of users. So that is the reason where now what I can do is here only I'm trying to get the data and display in my application. So how can I do that one? So before that, let's go with the user. And we are getting basically the data in the type of user array, right? That means like we don't know that how many records are there, like whether we have one record or multiple, we don't know that. So that is the reason I'm creating a variable to store the data. So this dot, understand, I'm having user service dot, there I have written a method that is get users, understand, get users. This method will return the data. So that is the reason where now what I can do, the data, whatever it is returning, I'll just subscribe it. And this is majorly having like two arrow functions. Understand, arrow functions are similar to the lambda expressions we have, right? Understand, those are similar to the lambda expression. What it will do, it will give the response. And whatever the response I'm having, I'm going to bind that response to my user. Okay, I can say that users for the naming convention I'm giving users is equal to, let's write the response. That's it. I'm doing something like that. Okay, this is what I have done. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear what I'm doing now? Right, we are getting like a response and also we are getting an error. Understand, you can get like whatever you want to do. That means getting whatever you wanted to get, you can get that and bind it to the users that what we have created over there. Now this users, let me access it in my application. So how can I go to the users.component, and here I need to write the code for my table. Let's have the table, and the first one is going to be the th, where I can say that something like user ID, and I can go with another th name that what I wanted to give, and I'll have another th, and here I just want to display I think what is the third one, address, right? Address, and the last one is going to be, let me display the contact. Okay, contact, and where I can give some border for my table. Okay, and after that the table row should be iterated. So that is where I'm using a directive here. Understand, star ng for should be given. Okay, ng stands for Angular, ng for is equal to, let's write something like let item of where the data is available under the users. So that is where I'm giving that. And also let I is equal to, I can get the index value, and that has to be displayed. So that is the reason here. What I can say simply, I can go with I+1 just to display the user ID something, or else you can get it from the item as well. I can go with the TD, where I can go with something like item dot name I can give. Understand? Let's copy that and paste it here. Third one is going to be address, and fourth one is going to be contact number. Why? Because like whatever we defined under the user.ts, okay, user.ts, you should give the same names over there. Let's save this application, and you can see the build process is running. Okay, let's come back to the application development. Okay, there you can see when user click on, just let me remove everything and click on execute. Now we are able to get something like that. Once if user click on users, now we are not getting the data. Why we are not getting the data? Just verify. Yeah, fine, we are getting the data. Now still you can see, even if I'm communicating with my server, see there, getting the data. Is my page is refreshed? Tell me. Is my page is refreshed? Tell me. No, right? So that is what the advantage. Understand? That is what the advantage with the single page applications. Okay, single page application means the entire application is going to be loaded at only once. Even if you are making a service calls also, the page is not going to be refreshed. That is what the advantage that what we are having. That means first request only the synchronous communication. Second request onwards what? It's completely asynchronous communication only. That what we are having. Understand? It's completely an asynchronous communication only. Okay, that is what a single page application. But followed by, there are a lot of more things are there to understand. So to demonstrate like everything, how can we work with a single page application and everything, and I'm planning to start like new batches. One batch in the morning that is on Angular, and another batch is purely on API. How can we implement the security for the application and all? Okay, so that's it. Right now you can ask me any queries if you're having. There's a time to clarify your doubts. You can ask me any questions or queries. For anyone, just please let me know. Anything. Yes, why you are raising your hands? Like it's not required like to learn Express.js. TypeScript is important. React.js is that's your wish. If you want to learn, you can, or else like Angular is enough according to the requirement. For all the requirements, you people can just contact the Naresh IT team. Okay, I don't know about like anything related to that. You can just contact Naresh IT people like for everything. So Web API will be for 3 weeks of the time I'm taking completely. 3 weeks. Nagababu. We'll discuss, like, just ask the questions like related to these concepts. Okay. Java Web Token Authentication, JWT. Yeah, that is a kind of authentication. That means what it will do, it generate a token based authentications. If you wanted to implement, then you can go with that. JWT authentication, not JWAT. JSON Web Token Authentication. Okay. Yeah, it's like Web API can be used in data layer only. In Web API, like we cover most of the concepts, something like implementing the security and the global exception handling and filter implementations, and also like hosting. How can we host that application in Azure, and like all these things would be covered over. Right. Child routing is also there. Child routing is also there. There you can go with that. Yeah, you can go with, like, you can integrate Angular with anything. Sorry, Shov, at this point of time, like, I couldn't able to fulfill your requirement. Yeah, subscribe is used to subscribe the data, like whatever we are getting from the service by making a service call. Understand, Ajax call, right? That is, we are observing it over there, and whatever we are observing on there, we can subscribe it in the component. And whatever we are subscribing, we can share that into the HTML. Okay. Yeah, child routing, like suppose you know that menus, I hope you know, like we have child menu, something like that, right? Child menu, like that. Then at that time you can, yeah, child routing is also there. Yeah, headers in API means basically Web API will work with the protocol that is HTTP, where it is stateless, and still, like, if you wanted to share the data, then at that time headers will play a major role. RxJS is different and React is different. Okay, don't compare them. RxJS is a library which can be used to make an Ajax calls. Same RxJS can be used in React, and same RxJS can be used in Angular as well. Okay, everything you can use it in the, like, I mean, front end. Understand? Yes, yes, yes. Basically, like, observable will read like multiple requests as well. Prompts can read like only one at a time. That's depend on the project, Gaurav. That's depend on the project and depend on the requirement. You people have to choose. Okay. Yeah, that would be done in API sessions. There you will learn about that one as well. Okay. I'm using it, man. Like, you can see here, I used it, right? You can see I'm using that model or not. You can see that there is the model I have created. I used in my application as well in the component, right? Yeah, next. No, like, same security can be happen, like in market, which project style coming in Angular make the project. That's depend. Suppose if your project is having pure MVC, then no need to depend on Angular. If you are developing your application across the globe for different clients, then at that time it's better to go with Web API and Angular or Web API React. Like that, it's better. I'm not sure about that, Navya. Yeah, that's enough, guys. Thank you and thanks for attending the workshop. And I hope at least like you got an idea about like what is an SP and how can we build that by using an API. Understand? And also like how can we prepare an Angular application? How can we integrate the Angular in Visual Studio? Okay, so that is how we learn many things. Okay, I'll stop here for the day. Thank you and thanks for attending. Bye-bye.